Hi and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Fee and I am here with another video. So I know it's been a while since I recorded a video. That's my apologies, my bad. Like I have a blog as well, so I've been switching back and forth and just trying to figure out which one do I really want to dedicate my time and energy into. So that's been a thing. I still haven't decided, but I wanted to do a video this week. So here you guys, here it is. So if you're noticing, yes, my hair is relaxed again. I relaxed it maybe almost 3 weeks ago. I think this is about my third week with a relaxer, or maybe my second or third week with a relaxer. But yes, I do have a relaxer again. I decided to relax my hair because I'm growing out my fade. I'm going back to a pixie cut, but I'm going to keep my sides and back low as always, and I'm just going to go out a little bit on the top. And what I'm doing today is I'm going to mold my hair, but the real purpose of this video is I want to talk about one of my favorite TV shows, and that is Pose. It comes on FX. It is thebomb.com. I can't explain it no other way. And I wanted to talk about the most recent episode, which was entitled, I Never Knew Love Like This Before. So for those of you who aren't familiar about what Pose is a show based in the late 80s, early 90s in New York. It emphasizes on the ballroom scene, which is really big in the LGBTQ community. And so the cast is mainly transgender women, and it just tells a story of that life in New York at that time. And so this episode was a very trying episode, and I'm just going to spray some leave-in conditioner in my hair so I can start molding for a dry. This episode was a really good episode. I cried, I laughed. Like when I was done, I felt like I said Pose wore me out. This episode centers around a character on the show by the name of Candy, who is a black trans woman. She is loud. She's one of the ones that you love and hate. She's loud. She's outspoken. She's herself. And in the show, she's really trying to just find her way in the ball community. She wants to make a name for herself. This season, they're really focusing on how voguing became mainstream through Madonna's song Vogue. And so Candy is kind of just like, she's trying to find a way to get on that wave and be seen in the ballroom scene, because now it's becoming mainstream. And so with that being said, she has a tendency of like trying to do things that, that's out of her league, that ain't really her specialty. And she does it during the balls. And one of the other main characters, who goes by the name of Pray Tell, he is the MC of the balls. He is always getting her together and reading her for filth. So the episode starts at a ball. They have the guys, they're voguing. They start with voguing, and then they have some other guys come in and they start doing another form of dancing. And it looked almost like they were mixing voguing with breakdancing. And so they doing that, and then here comes Miss Candy, who decides to do a homage, if you will, to Madonna with this whole get up on. And Candy can't dance worth a lick. She's she's almost clockable, meaning that you can almost tell that she is trans. You could tell that she's not a female born woman. And so Pray Tell reads her for filth in front of the ball, which he always do almost every time they have a ball and she come out, because she cuts up at the balls. But this episode, you kind of knew it was different. The energy was different. And you kind of caught on right away that this episode was going to be about Candy, and that something was going on with Candy this episode. So I just molded my hair with the Nairobi. So, and it's just an easy, quick mode, nothing simple. So anyway, because I don't want to make this video super long, Candy ends up being murdered in this episode. And the episode is mainly at Candy's funeral. And what happens is, during the funeral, Candy, she kind of goes back and she speaks to key people during the funeral. So she kind of comes back, or her ghost is around, her spirit is going around, and she's speaking to people during the funeral. And the first conversation that she has is with Pray Tell. And right away, you know, I picked up on all of the knowledge that Angie, you know, Candy was about to drop in this episode. So that's what made this episode really good. So during her conversation with Pray Tell, she tells Pray Tell that you know, she forgives him for how she treated him. And what stuck out to me is that she told him, she said, either Pray Tell told her, I believe Pray Tell finally opened up to her, and he said one of the reasons, he apologized to her, and he said one of the reasons why I was always so mean to you and so hard on you is because I did not like you because I saw in you what I don't like about myself. He said, you are black, you are queer, you are confident and loud, and you're living and you are being true to who you are. And he said, I hate that because that's everything that I try not to be. And so I just thought that that was just so profound, because I feel like we do that as people. I know I've been guilty of seeing a woman or seeing someone and being like, oh, they doing too much. And I really have to stop and check myself, because it was like, they really not doing too much. They're just making me uncomfortable, because they're either doing something that I want to do and I just don't have the confidence to do it, or they're profiling something about me that I don't like, that I do. And so, you know, we just have to be careful about how you treat people. You know, I've never been that type to be like, oh, I don't like someone. You know, I always try to be mindful of that, because 9 times out of 10, when you don't like somebody, it's because of that. It's your own personal reason. They don't have to have done anything to you, but you don't like them just off the strength of it's something about them that makes you uncomfortable. So I thought that was really prevalent, and I wanted to speak on that, which was really the main reason why I wanted to do this video, because like I said, the gems that Candy dropped and the lessons that they had in this episode was just spot on. And so another conversation that she had is with the character Angel. Now, Angel is this beautiful trans woman. She can almost pass, but Angel is a sex worker, which a lot of trans women during that time, and even still today, you have a lot of trans women who end up working on the street, or they're some form of sex worker, because they can't get your typical basic job, or just and if they do find a job, it's just not enough to sustain a living, to take care of themselves. So they go to sex work, and Candy pretty much tells her, like, girl, get off these streets so you won't end up like me. And on top of that, Angel has been given the opportunity to model and travel the world and model and be, famous. And she said, Angel felt like because of her past and who she was like she would never fit into that high model, high fashion life. And Candy tells her, like, You're in there. You got it. You can do this. Don't allow your past to stop you from reaching your goals in your future. And I feel like that was another hot gem. That was something that we can all take away from, because I think sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves, whether it be relationships, business, reaching goals, whatever the case may be. Sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves because we don't believe we're worthy of it because of what's happened in the past. So yeah, you could tell I done molded my hair down and I got it tied up. So I'm going to try to wrap this video up so I can sit under the dryer. Once it's dry, I'm not going to put any heat or anything to it because it's still really short. All I'm going to do is take some hair oil, rub it through, give it some texture, and I'm done. Now, there was another part in the video that I thought was very important that I want to speak on, and I'm going to wrap this thing all the way up. So they had a hard time reaching Candy's parents, but her parents did show up to the funeral. And at first they was kind of heart-bent. They didn't want to see Candy's body. They didn't want to view the body or anything like that. They referred to Candy as him, which is very, very just ignorant and disrespectful when you have a person who's transgender and you fail to acknowledge them according to the pronouns that they want to be called. It's just a pronoun. It's just he, she, her, him, whatever, you know. So, and I feel like as a straight cis woman, that means that I was born a woman. I feel like sometimes we take advantage, or we take for granted the fact that, you know, people are going to look at us and they're going to automatically say, they're going to look at me and automatically say that's a woman. But in a trans world, you know, they want their pronouns what they want to be called, and you should respect that. Now back to their parents. Like I said, they came, they was kind of hard-hearted about the situation, but Blanca talked to them, which is another key person on the show. She talked to them and she kind of convinced them to go and see. And as they were viewing the body, Candy spoke to her parents, and they saw her, and for the first time they actually saw their child. It didn't matter if she was dressed as, you know, as transgender. This was their child, and they just had their moment. And one thing that was really interesting was that Candy told her mom, she said, when I was growing up, I would wear your heels. You didn't say anything. I would put your wigs on. You never had an issue on it. But the moment that I came out and showed you who I was, you had a problem and you turned away from me. And I just felt like, one, as parents, sometimes we have our own expectations of what we want our children to be or how we think our children should be. And when we don't, when they're not, we want to toss them away. That goes for sexuality. That goes for lifestyle. That goes for choices that they make on their own. And, you know, you never want to be in a situation as Candy's parents was, where you're standing over their body and you're saying, I love you and I just wish you was here. Because love them while they're here. And that goes for anybody. But just love and accept people for who they are and let them live their lives. It's too many people losing their lives because they don't have that love and acceptance because someone doesn't want to accept them for who they are. Sorry. So let me sip some coffee. So just love people for who they are. And if you are a parent, don't ever throw your child away. I don't care if you agree with their choices or whatever. That's still your child. As a mother, you carried them for 9 months. And so you just want to be them. And it just stuck out to me because, one, I am a mother. And I would just never want to be in that situation where now my child is sitting in a casket, God forbid, and now I'm telling them how much I love them, or I'm wishing that they was there, or I'm wishing that I can go back and do things differently, when all I had to do in the first place was love and accept them. So the show ended with them rolling out Candy's casket into the ballroom scene, and Candy steps out the casket, and she performed Stephanie Mills' I never knew love like this before. She lip synced it, and that was also an issue in the show because she wanted them to add lip singing to the ball. Pray Tell really wasn't for it, so this was her last final finale, as you will. She lip synced it, kind of gave her final love to people, let that energy be put out, and it was just a good show. It was put together well. Like I said, the gems was great, and also it had a tidbit of history because the way that Candy died, she was found murdered in a hotel, and a very popular transgender woman by the name of Venus, God, I can't remember what house she was with. I want to say Extravaganza. I believe that's it. Venus Extravaganza is a very known transgender woman, and she was seen in the movie Paris Has Fallen, which also talks about the ballroom scene in New York around the same time that Pose is being portrayed in, and she was found murdered in a hotel as well. So, and she also has aspirations of being famous and known. So I just thought that I also love that Pose is taking a moment to educate us and pay homage and show history to the LGBTQ community. So if you don't watch Pose, I highly recommend it. It is a great show. I will be trying to do more videos with my hair now that I'm back relaxed and I got a little pixie going. Like I said, it's going to be an undercut pixie, real simple. I think my Gemini brain tomorrow might want something different. But that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. If you would like to see more videos where I give reviews on shows or just talk and give my opinion about different shows, then let me know in the comment section. And until then, be blessed.